Hi, wonderful people. I want to welcome you to this YouTube channel today, Discovery Africa TV. Please, if you are yet to subscribe, this is the best time to subscribe. Do not procrastinate. Just hit the subscribe button straight away. So yesterday, Thursday, was actually a lot of things happened in Nigeria yesterday. One of it was some of Nigerians, notable Nigerians like that, were in court yesterday, from one court to another. At first, we have Nnamdi Kanu trial, continuation of Nnamdi Kanu trial. Alongside that, we have Sowore also in court. So Nnamdi Kanu was in court, Sowore was in court, and also Senator representing Kogi Central District was also in court. So those cases were actually going on concurrently together yesterday. And we saw all of what happened at the end of the day, that Senator Natasha was granted bail of 50 million naira. And assuming the case didn't go in that favor, in that direction, by now, she would have been remanded or probably be in prison until when all of what was said to have, be done on that particular case of criminal defamation against Governor Yaya Bello, ex-Governor Yaya Bello, and the current Senate President Godswill Akpoti, until when the judge decide on all the rulings and all the proceeding. That is when we will know what will be her fate. You understand? But yesterday, the judge actually declared that she should be granted bail of a sum of 50 million naira. Yes, alongside, we also saw what happened in the court proceeding of Nnamdi Kanu yesterday. So he also was also in court. And we saw all of what happened back to back in that regard. Yes, also we know these people we're actually talking about, Omoyele Sowore, Nnamdi Kanu, and Senator Natasha, are high-profile individuals in Nigeria. And most especially the current trending of Senator Natasha versus Professor Obike, Professor Dr. Duru, the Senate President, ex-Governor Yaya Bello, and even the Attorney General of the Federation. You understand? Several Nigerians has been coming out with their own speculations as to what the government need to do at this point in time. Now, let me just give you a tip of what happened about the federal government and Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB agitator. Now, Nnamdi Kanu has been agitating for the freedom of his people now, not now. He has been agitating for them for a long period of time. You understand? And we all know for the past 5 years now, he has been in detention. Just like what Omoyele Sowore made us understand, that Nnamdi Kanu was actually being sold out by some of his Igbo brothers and Igbo elites. If not for all of that, by now, he would have been granted freedom. You understand? So we all know there's some legal battling. There's some legal battle ongoing in that regard towards the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. So let's leave that. Let's talk about Senator Natasha case. She was being granted bail of 50 million naira. Although some say, why 50 million naira? I think justice is free. Now, I made you understand in a video earlier that justice is very, very costly in this country. So you need to have what it takes to really fight for justice. If not, something else might happen, at the end of the day. But let me just leave it to everything that played out in this video. Do have to drop your comment, and do not forget to subscribe as well. This is Discovery Africa TV, guys. Thank you for always watching our video anytime we upload on this YouTube channel, guys. Peace.
Welcome to special discussion.
Okafo. That's not this thing.
It's a special discussion.
I thought it's beer parlor discussion.
we can do beer parlor discussion, right? We can do that. That's not a problem. But let's go straight to the point, so that we can look at if the bench warrant that was requested by the counsel to the prosecutor was done in good faith. Natasha has always maintained that she's going to make herself available at the court anytime she's requested, and today she was at the court. But before then, the last time when there was no proper service of notice, just that morning, the counsel to the prosecutors were requesting for bench warrant, which graciously the judge rightly didn't grant that. Are we seeing exceptional courage in the person of Natasha? let's be less official. Let's appeal to, let's be less legal. Let me put it that way. Is Natasha showing exceptional courage to Nigerians? Is she leading a kind of quiet fight? Although we don't know how long, because these days, if you hear that somebody is doing the right thing, you begin to ask how long until the person is either coerced or shown some shaky. You say, okay, in the spirit of working together, let all of us move to APC. Do you think, Philip? Let me start from you. Do you think Natasha is showing exceptional courage and leading example, across Nigeria political space?
Yes, the last time we were here talking about Natasha, when the bench warrant was issued on the request of the prosecutors and the defense counsel objected to it, and the court agreed with the defense counsel, and God said, no, we can't issue such warrant when you have not put the person on notice. We did say that Natasha belongs to the leagues of those women that led the Aba women riots, and the likes of Fela's mother and all the rest of them. Natasha in recent time, somebody credit her to be the female version of Peter Obi. She's leading a war quietly. But like you said, we don't know how long it takes. Natasha has shown that she's a law-abiding citizen of Nigeria. You have brought up charges against me before a court of law. I am here to defend myself.
Yeah.
If I break the law, I pay the price. But until the court said otherwise, I'm an innocent. Yes, today she was in court, and I'm sure she'll take a plea of not being guilty. So it's left for the prosecution to establish their case, against her. But before then, Natasha has shown a good example to Nigerian women. I did say that Natasha is a woman of substance. And is a hero. She's a hero, to say. And is somebody the Nigerian women and men and women should emulate. When you believe that your right is being infringed upon, you should stand up and fight for it. Because nobody's going to give it to you.
All right, interesting. Still on BPD, beer parlor discussion.
but bring beer now.
This drinking beer discussion. Okay. Beer parlor discussion. Okay. So don't get it wrong.
You know when they call you, now you call yourself.
Okay, let's keep it simple. It is not quite completely right to give the entire credit to just Natasha, because she's beginning to be a leader. A leader is just that first person in line to influence a course of action. I think the people from her constituency have also been beside her. They deserve to share the credits. They are not too bothered about what exceptional benefits might have come to them, in place in exchange for this fight, that she's wading. I think her people, deserve some credit, standing beside her, not minding what they might lose at the cost of this. What I don't know your take on that.
I think what the federal government is doing, led by the APC government, is a big show of shame. Shame. Okafor, shame. They are using federal resources the way they like. The prosecution they are doing, the lawyers they are bringing to court, who they ever hired, all of it is taxpayers' money to pursue someone that is not really, whether they prosecute Natasha, send her to jail, it doesn't add to the value of governance they are giving this country. What this country elected and asking them for is good
but
governance.
at the end of the day, you also look at the fact that in as much as the prosecution could be done without making it criminal, you also need to be careful about what you say before saying them. If you want to say, for example, that somebody wants to murder you, you should be sure it is true. I think that is probably the area, everybody say, fine, there should be litigation. No, let her come
You see,
and
Okafor, let me tell you
but
something.
not necessarily.
The democracy we say we are practicing is from is not a Nigerian thing. In America, people talk about people anyhow. How many people have you? No, hold on. How many people that have you seen? Shakespeare parallel discussion we are talking about.
So you're free to.
Exactly. So, how many people have you seen as suing people for defamation? People have talked about Trump in the most derogatory way. People talked about Obama.
They mode Trump with
the cartoons,
caricature of him.
In fact, late night shows. All those late night.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
Comedians come talk about it. How many of them have you seen that they say they are defaming Trump?
But this one, when you talk about, say somebody wants to kill you, and for example, or there's intention, a plan to murder you, it goes deep into that person's character. People could begin to see the person as a murderer. If you do not apologize that it was a slip of tongue or a slip of heart or a slip of something, So
were there some element of truth in her allegation?
The only thing I know that most Nigerians were asking, Philip Atika will probably come to you for that. What most Nigerians were asking, that it need not be criminal, it need not be a headache of the government. It should actually be like what is it called? Babio's headache, Yaya Bello's headache. Okay, to say, Natasha, you have defamed me. I am taking you to court. Rather than government coming in. Once it's a criminality, it becomes the work of the government. So that's what most Nigerians are like talking about. That evoking that penal code, for such.
I wish I could ask you one question.
Yeah.
Yaya Bello that stole a lot of money from their state. Is it not defaming the state? No, the money that is made for everybody. Only you has collected hundreds of billions. Is it not defamation? Me, I'm going to sue you.
Investigation is still in progress.
You see, when you say Natasha, in a statement in a live broadcast, defame the person of Yaya Bello and Akpabio, Gosu Akpabio. When she made this allegation some time ago, her home in her hometown was attacked.
Yeah.
And recently, there's another publication today again.
Yes.
Her home has been attacked
The second time.
But you.
No, I'm coming.
You agree with me?
You asked me a question.
Yeah.
So, if by reason of this attack, she said her life is in danger, and you also know that she had quarrel with these persons, I don't see anything criminal in it. If those people feel so strongly that she had defamed them, the court is there. It's a civil matter. She should come to court, ask her to come to court to tell the court how much she knows about their plan to defame her.
I agree with you on that.
If she failed to do that, the court will make a pronouncement. I don't see where the federal government
has to buy the matter.
And the people who are defamed are not even saying anything. The highest we have is that they are witnesses in this matter. So if they are not witnesses, then they feel comfortable with the allegation.
People that their character is defamed.
They are not doing anything about it.
They are not even the party. They are witnesses.
They don't go to court for anything. But the federal government is going to court on criminal defamation and making them witness
on their behalf.
If they had gone to court and they got judgment, then I think that is the only reason why the federal government would say that, okay, you have raised false alarm because there's a judgment.
Okay, I was trying to ask Kingsley about the credit that needs to go to the constituency. The people from his constituency, our constituency rather. They've been beside her, they've been with her. Do you think, time is really against her in some form? We are talking about re-election again. Unfortunately, just midway into this tenure, we are talking about re-election. You don't think he's going to they're going to try to penetrate, opposition are going to try to penetrate her, to unseat her, and with all these troubles, she might not be too balanced for re-election, and also knowing that she came from PDP, which as it is to the PDP is gradually fusing into APC. Do you think they are either going to make her bend into APC to be able to contest again, or You know, in Nigeria, we see second tenure as almost birthright until you are removed or you contest for another position. You know, do you think all this are not going to really bend her and she's going to find a backyard peace? You know, so that government might withdraw the case or treat it with seriousness.
Your question is of twofold. The first one is her constituent.
Yeah.
You know, give it to her constituent. When she embarked on her homecoming, with all the effort of the state government and federal government combined, the people trooped out in their numbers to welcome her. And you see the love they showed her. Kudos to her Kogi Central. They've shown that they've elected the right person and they are standing by that right person they've elected by their action. You see it. You know, you also remember they tried to kangaroo recall. They couldn't forge ahead. The people were solidly behind her. I think Kogi Central people are some of the people constituent Nigerians should give respect to.
Resilient.
You know, they are very resilient and they are supportive, irrespective of the fact that she's not there. That is still part of your question.
Yeah.
I will not be able to speak for Natasha whether she will go for backyard settlement because Nigerians politicians, they are terrible. You can never say never. For instance, in Delta State, we have the man we so respected that we call it the Kwame of Africa. We call him, in fact, it's a political strategy. He started from the grassroots and he built up to the extent that he ran for the vice president of this country. But what happened when they unleashed the instrument of state agency against him? He caved in. So Nigeria is full of drama. And Nigerian politicians are the dramatists. They acted a lot. So I won't be too shocked because, like you rightly said, PDP is gradually fusing into APC. If PDP fused into APC, as it were, then they became one party. So she will still want to run. But if they will not be back, so naturally they fuse it. But if she remains in a party, we don't know. I can't speak for whether she will go or not.
All right. Just beyond politics, you know, this is a casual discussion. Beyond politics, Natasha is setting an example, like I started with, you know, for the people, especially for the ladies. The kind of courage she has. This is not to give credence to her allegation against the Senate president on sexual harassment. You know, it's easy to say something, you need to prove that. Okay, this is not to give credence to any of those. And this is also not to give credence to her allegation that the Senate president and the Abelo and the cliques and that they're intending to murder her. You know, but for the fact that she's willing to stand her ground and all she says she will do, she has done. What she says she would do, she has done. She has not done. Coming to court today, you know, in a full attire, you know, with high spirit and all that. What lesson comes from that needs to be learned, especially by our ladies from Senator Natasha?
Well, let's first of all take the character of a politician. We know how all the politicians have been in Nigeria of late. They speak something during the day, they do another thing during the night. They've all caved in, almost like 99% of them. At the call of the president, they are going. And let me just digress a little bit. I know you supported the president one time when you said that the president can invite any well-meaning Nigerian to come and visit them.
I have no problem with people visiting our president.
But where I see it wrong is the fact that the common Nigerians are suffering. He hasn't met with them. We didn't elect him to meet with rich people or famous families. Nigeria is Nigerian. Anywhere we go, we are Nigerians. They don't say famous or Nigerian.
You want to see the president?
Yes.
I go to Aso Rock and ask for appointments.
You see,
For those people that go to see me, they don't go to Aso Rock.
they don't go to Aso Rock.
Who told you?
They don't. He invites
To
them.
be able to see us too. Maybe when they see us, our life will change. Masses.
Tunde Bakare said that he was having a lunch or something at the Kogi club when the call of the president came.
No, they were also friends and they were involved in them.
The president doesn't have special friends anymore at this moment. He's friends to all Nigerians.
He's not denying that.
Okafor, I know you are the lawyer of the president.
no. He's not denying
That's
that.
why they always call you Agbado.
That's not to say that the president, doesn't know Tunde Bakari more closely or closer than probably he knows you.
No, that's not what he's saying.
That's not
what he's saying.
Before he became president,
yes,
he was friends to some.
We already know that. But what he's saying, Mr. President has seen a lot of persons, and they have turned around. Maybe, just maybe, if Mr. President chooses to meet with the masses, maybe the life of Nigerian masses will also change.
So
that is why I requested for the president to meet with the masses.
No, don't get it wrong. I'm one of those who believe that instead of Mr. President, because I found this, the signposts are still there. Go to Airport Road, see door-to-door knocking signposts being sponsored by certain persons. Instead of having those signposts, publicity, billboards, and things like that to campaign for president on door-to-door, let president performers knock on the doors of Nigerians. And I've always said that we are just halfway. That I still believe if the president can make a change of direction, something good can still happen between now and 2027. And at such position, the president might be able to win his re-election. I've also not said that re-election of the president is sacrosanct, because I'm one of those who insist that the coalition need be supported, that when you do that, and INEC need to be transparent. As a matter of fact, INEC need to be overhauled. Then mandatory electronic transmission of results has to come in place, such that in 2027 the people will be able to elect their leader. We should be having a government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Now you are speaking for the people.
I've always been for the people.
It's just that but sometimes you speak for the president.
The president among the people.
I will introduce to Odanuga. You see what we are
I also speak for Obi. If I speak for Obi, they say you will be there.
Exactly.
If I speak for president, they say he has sitting about. So it's just
but in balancing it. I don't know if you have ever played pool before. I played pool one time when I was in primary school. And so because I said I slept and I had a dream that pen 3 from 3. So I had a dream. So I got 3 numbers in that dream. So I was telling everybody, I was in primary school. Play these numbers, play these numbers. They said, have you ever played pool before? Get out. So I played the numbers. My brother, 150 cover got me about some cool cash. I was the only one that played it. Now, why I say this is that you don't use the life of Nigerians to play pool. You see, the president, in response to the killings in Benue, said that, let me try and clear my table. It's not about clearing of table. Modi in India was not trying to clear his table when there was a plane crash. He arrived there, bam. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Maybe we'll find time to discuss this Benue on a beer parlor discussion again.
Yes. Now, the reason I said that is that we're talking about Natasha. We are invited to this one, but it's all
it's all about leadership.
Now, if you look at Natasha as we speak, look at the caliber of people that followed her to court today. You see, politics should be about the people. Politics should not be about some few families and friends. Look, we know life is in a particular strata. Like we have the strata system or the caste system in India, where people have their. In Nigeria, we don't have a caste system. We have people that work for other people. The president should work for other people, not to join issues with Natasha, or the federal government should not join issue with Natasha. It should allow Akpabio and Yaya Bello join issues with Natasha. Those are the things we are.
All right, the time is against us. Philip, what would you see as a lesson for the entire Nigerians, and what do you think Natasha should do in this case? Continue with her case, no matter what is being lost, no matter what her constituency is losing, or just try to see if she can, work together in some form.
What I will say, I've said before, Natasha should continue to stand for right. And all Nigerians should take a lesson, a clue from Natasha, that no matter how hostile the environment, if your right is being infringed upon, despite the odds, stand for your right.
After all,
Even
people,
if you die for
let
it.
me tell you something. Mandela was in jail for 27 years.
27
Do you know,
European
as at
years.
that time, Mandela's name was in no-fly list, or what is it called, to America. He was graded as a terrorist.
A terrorist, yes.
So that you are in jail doesn't mean anything. Nigeria should start getting used to being in jail
For the right reason.
thing.
Nigeria
It could only cost you not to contest another election. As a matter of fact, as you are in jail, you have even won election.
In fact, they should resist intimidation. They should resist coercion. They should stand for their right. They should stand for...
Even though they end up putting
exactly.
you in jail.
Even if you die on the
It
court.
doesn't matter.
You see, let me tell you something.
Posterity will judge you right.
Our fear for so many things are too much.
After our democracy day, time is against us. Remember, it was because Abiola said my mandate or
Nothing.
Sorry.
And today we are celebrating
Yes.
it. Am I correct?
Yes.
And look at it. There's something I wanted to say. We have missed the democracy celebration. The democracy celebration is to tell Nigerians that we are still there and fighting to move forward.
Exactly.
Now they have taken the democracy celebration to the chambers of the Senate.
All right, time is against us. I hope we find another time to discuss on this Natasha issue, because I think it's something that is, is dear to Nigerians' hearts. Aside the fact that she's a woman, she's also from, this portion of the country that is tearing the middle belt area. She epitomizes the South in some form because the husband is from Delta State, and she epitomizes the North in some form, and everybody's looking at her. Well, this is still special discussion we call beer parlor discussion.